because it's very hard to do that, especially in these turbulent times. But I always make sure that for those who try their best to govern their best, they have the Philippines. The Philippines has their back, as I hope they have our back when the troubles come. As such, our embassy here in Riyadh, as well as the Consulate General in Jeddah, are our biggest foreign service posts in the region, and some of the biggest in the world. We have put the best and most able officers and staff under the leadership of Ambassador Alonto and Consul General Edgar Badajoz to help and assist you. This is our mandate from President Duterte, to extend all and the best possible assistance to our nationals abroad. Again, I digress. When I was asked to join the United Nations by Secretary Asay, I said, tanda na ako, don't, I kept saying. Then one day, my old partner in the Engarado office, Bingbong Medialdea, the Executive Secretary of President Duterte, said, Periboy, he will meet you across the river. Because in Malacanang, dito, di ba, may Pasig River, this is the Presidential Security Compound. When the President calls, you go. I remember that. I remember that from my father, who did not like Marcos. But when Marcos called, he went. I would ask him, why will you do that? You don't like him. He is the President of the Republic. It is my country calling us. So he would go. And so it is. And when I got there, he told me, in fact, he did not even appoint me in words. He just simply said, he pointed at me this way, don't defend me. I don't need to be defended, and I can defend myself. Then he started talking about the drug problem. And then suddenly he put up his hand again this way. Don't defend me. I can defend myself. Sabi ni Bingbong sa akin, boy, this looks like it's going to be the whole night. So the next time he sat down again, because while we were talking, he would go out to negotiate some of the most difficult situations, including a hostage crisis. Then he will come back and sit down. And the next time he went, don't defend me. I got his hand and I said, thank you very much, Mr. President. Then I bowed. And he said, hapon pala yun ah. So, and then I left. 2 weeks later, my appointment as UN ambassador came through. So that's what the meeting was about. When I was in the United Nations, I served there, I thought, to protect our interests, to explain our policies. And one day when I was in a meeting headed by Australia on the auditing of the United Nations, I could feel the phone ringing in my pocket. So I stood up, and the Australian ambassador looked at me like she knew what was going to happen. And I stepped out of the room, I said, hello, and he said, the position of Secretary of Foreign Affairs is vacant. Do you want to accept it? I answered, and he said, thank you very much. That's his style. And he knows what he's doing. When I got back in the room, the Australian ambassador looked at me and said, you accepted the job. How do you know that? He said, we are Australian. We know everything. Ganun pala. But this, when he appointed me Secretary of Foreign Affairs, again, that's what he called me. When I was sworn into office, after being sworn by him, I said, Mr. President, instructions, do you have any? I put the ball in your hand. Play with it. But then he walked away and he came back and he said, you take care of my people abroad. So he is. And I knew my marching orders. Yesterday, I had the privilege to meet with Foreign Minister His Highness Prince Faisal and thank the Saudi government for all the assistance being given to our countrymen here. I discussed the concerns of Filipinos here, and they promised to look into these concerns. Yesterday, I also led in the groundbreaking ceremony of the multipurpose hall in the embassy, which is envisioned to help improve our services to all of you. We hope that it will be completed soon, and I thank Ambassador Alonto for this initiative. Once again, it is my pleasure to be here with all of you, and I hope you will continue our partnership with the embassy for the betterment of the welfare of all Filipinos in Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po sa ating kalihim. Ngayon naman po ay magsisimula po ang ating question and answer. May format lang po tayo sa ating question and answer. Hindi po tayo tatanggap ng live questions mula sa floor. Pero meron po tayong sistema wherein maaari niyo pong isulat ang inyong mga katanungan. Ibigay po sa aming mga panauhin mula sa embahada. At amin pong babasahin po yung tanong dito po sa stage. At tatanungin po natin ang ating kalihim or maaari